bat. And now we actually have what the official score is. The official score is 10 without loss. So 10 without loss officially. First bowler was Bowin Patel. The second bowler now bowling from the northern end of the ground is going to be Nru Patel. Nurpal Patel. Nurpal Patel, right arm over the wicket. Here he is, first delivery. Swing and just a thick outside edge into that backward point area, no run. Openers for the Desai 11 are Shivang Patel and Sanjay Patel. Shivang Patel, 8, 2 scoring shots so far for him. Those 2 scoring shots were 2 fours. And then Sanjay Patel is now on strike for the first time. Nurpal Patel, again, shortish delivery. Got some good lift on that actually. Just bouncing over the attempted cut shot attempted by Sanjay Patel. So Patel now, or Sanjay Patel, faced 2 deliveries, has not yet scored. Overall score again, 10 without loss. As we get up and going and hopefully bringing you a successful long day's worth of cricket. Next delivery by Nurpal Patel, short and hammered through the outside. That should have the legs to reach the boundary. Nope, there's protection down there. Just briefly shielded away from that fielder who was at short or at wide third man. But that fielder in perfect position to cut off that ball from reaching to the boundary. So just 2 more to the total. 12 without loss. We're halfway through, actually 4 deliveries into the second over. This next ball, ooh, it's a wide ball, too far outside off stump for the liking of umpire Jagan Mohan Reddy, operating from the standing umpire at the northern end of the ground. Umpire who's currently at square leg at the southern end of the ground is Raju Kumar. Next delivery, ooh, looking to play this away on the onside. Gets a thick outside edge, it runs to the backward point area. No run. So just now 2 balls remaining here in the second. Good, quiet, sedate start. This is knocked into the outfield. This is going to be a couple more runs as that fielder running around from wide third man there to limit the damage. Don't think it would have had the legs to reach to the boundary. But there we are. That is the last ball. The end of the second over in place at the end of 2. The score is 15 without loss. Back to the action here. This first delivery of the third over being bowled by Bowen Patel in for his second over. Sprays it down the leg side. You'll want to straighten up the line on that. Just get that ball going right down the channel toward off stump. Not a very attacking field. There is no one in a catching position where you'd ordinarily see a slip fielder. Second delivery, an overcorrection, too far outside the line of off stump. So yesterday we saw a number of extras being bowled by the matches that were covered yesterday, and you'd like to think that these bowlers would have had the opportunity to think about their craft and get that ball going in the direction they needed to. Bowen Patel again, this is crashed down the ground, but straight to mid-on, and he takes a pretty straightforward catch. Very well stroked ball, but directly to that fielder at mid-on, and he takes it easily. So the first wicket of the day goes down, and after having bowled 2 wides to start his second over, Bowen Patel induces really a very good shot, but at the end of the day, a shot that goes straight to the fielder at mid-on. So the first wicket goes down. Score is now 17 for 1, as that is Shivang Patel, who hit the ball well but didn't place it very well. Just hit it directly to that fielder at mid-on. Simple catch taken. Those simple catches can sometimes not be too simple. It was hit relatively flat, and those are never easy to take. But a very straightforward catch in the end, and he puts it away. So the first wicket down, the score is 17 for 1. So 17 for 1, the first wicket down, and the new batter to the crease is going to be Mihang Patel. Mihang Patel taking his guard. He's a right-handed batter. And a successful start to the over thus far by Bowen Patel. Sanjay Patel has been there since the opening of the match. Obviously, he's the opening batter, but he's faced 6 deliveries, scored 4 runs. Mihang Patel about to get his day started with the bat. Here he is facing up to Bowen Patel. Oh, look at this, a thick outside edge. That's going to run away for 4, but that's a good delivery. That's the channel in which you want to operate. And again, if you were able to get those types of deliveries, as I said a couple of deliveries ago, why is it that there is no slip in position? Here we see on the replay, good ball, having that batter reach forward and drive, looking to go through the offside, but that off-stump line, or in that occasion, maybe just a 4th stump line, inducing that edge, and that's exactly what you want to have as your opening bowler. So, boy, a little bit of thinking, and then now it looks like classic case of closing the gate after the horse has gone through. There's now a fielder at slip. Had that fielder been there one delivery earlier, he might well have been in with a chance to get a catch. Bowen Patel again. Oh, now this is not a good ball. This is too short, too straight, and pulled away for 4. Well, if the previous delivery was in that channel, asking the batter to reach forward uncertainly, this next ball too full, too straight, and just hammered, pouncing all over that ball. Mihang Patel inviting or accepting the invitation to play that aggressive shot through the offside. So consecutive fours, one a genuine outside edge that should have taken a wicket had a slip been in position, and then the other just a confident pull, really kind of a slog sweep more than a pull really, through wide mid-on. And so now a little bit of scrambling of the field as Long On goes back towards the boundary. There's also a man at deep cow corner. Those are the two outside. Now here's the next delivery. Oh, sort of defended into the onside. They go through for quick single as Bowin Patel himself is the one who cleans up and does the fielding. So a little bit of everything going on in this over. A couple of wides, a wicket, a couple of fours, the first of which should have been another wicket. 11 runs so far. The second over of the day for Bowin Patel. The third overall has been an eventful one. This is the last ball of third over. Big swipe and a miss. And check that. That was the fifth ball of the over. Big swipe and a miss. So the last ball coming up now. 26 for 1 is the score. The DESAI 11 winning the toss and choosing to bat. And they're going to want to make sure that they continue along the vein that they've already started. They've lost a wicket, but the scoring rate, 9.18, is a good one. Oh, another huge drive being attempted and not successful. So that is the end of the third over. 11 runs coming from it, but a wicket taken, which is important. So after 3, the score is 26 for 1. Once again, we're pleased to be here with you in Frisco, Texas at the Northeast Community Park. The DESAI 11 versus the BARDOLI Blasters. The DESAI 11 winning the toss and choosing to bat. And so far, we have a good start to the day's play. 3 overs, 26 for 1, so the overall run rate 8.67. 8.67 is a good rate. At this rate, they'll get to 173. They'd be very happy with 173, I would think. And in the meantime, Bardoli Blasters looking to pull things back. This is stroked. Oh, straight into the hand of mid-off. It was right there for the drive, and he stroked it well, but directly to mid-off. Mid-off could not take the catch. Oh, I'd love to see that on the replay again, but that just looked like a pretty straightforward catching opportunity to mid-off. Put it down. Next delivery is slapped straight. A good stop by mid-on this time. Coming across to his left and preventing that from running away for 4. Could not save the single. Well hit ball, but again, pretty sure that 3 runs were saved on that occasion. Next delivery slapped down to mid-off again. So this, oh, gets right through mid-off. In fact, should have been a dot ball, ends up conceding a single. Both of these batters for the DESAI 11 are looking very aggressive, looking to really get after the bowling. T20, of course, is a very fast-paced match, so it's not or fast-paced type of format, so it's not surprising that they would want to go after the bowling. But you know, that's part of what makes this game exciting, is this next ball looking to whip this around the corner. Boy, had he been able to get any bats on that, there is absolutely no one anywhere near the same zip code as where that ball would have gone. The closest person to field that ball probably would have been me standing outside the ropes at deep fine leg. It's another dot ball. Next delivery pulled away massively. He got all of that one. Landing just over the ropes at deep mid-wicket. A massive pull away for 6. That is Mehang Patel at his best. He absolutely nailed that one. And boy, off and running, looking to really stamp their authority on the proceedings here. DESAI 11. Score ticks up to 34 for 1, and they're only now getting started. Run rate referred to is now at 8.87 with 1 ball to go in Nirpal Patel's second over. This is guided behind point, no run taken. So that is the end of the over. Good, another good over just from the standpoint of scoring runs. These overs are all being very productive for the DESAI 11. 8 runs coming from that over. At the end of 4, the score is 34 for 1. DESAI 11 so far, I think, having a better start to the match than they did yesterday. When they played yesterday against Atlanta Paramveers, Mehang Patel scored 20, Sanjay Patel 17, Krunal Patel 35, Sagar Patel 14, but the rest only flattered to deceive. They only ended up in 16 overs with 129 runs, and they were all out for 129. So far, I think they've started out in a much better frame of mind, and certainly the results that have been evident so far have certainly been much better. Just after the first 4 overs, they are up to 34 for 1. New bowler lofted in the air. That's going to clear the infield, run away close to the boundary, and gets to the boundary now. So the new bowler, Pinkal Patel, is greeted very rudely. The first delivery, outside off, foolish delivery. See on the replay, just a thick top edge that runs away from those 2 fielders inside the circle behind point, and running away for yet another 4. So Sanjay Patel now joining in on the action. The first 6 overs of the innings are the power play overs. We are into the 5th over overall, so just 1 more over of power play left after this. This next delivery full in on the legs and clipped through the onside for at least a couple more. Yep, they're just jogging through for that second run now. So for the power play overs, of course, the first 6 overs, during those first 6, you can only have a maximum of 2 fielders outside the circle. That innovation put into place around, maybe 15 or so years ago. It's really led to accelerated scoring at the front end of the innings. And look at this. This might be the best shot I've seen all day. Full and outside off and crashed through the covers. A proper batsman stroke. Running away for 4. So absolutely making hay while the sun shines here at DESAI 11. I mentioned during the power play overs, you can only have a maximum of 2 outside the circle. So ordinarily, you might think that there could have been a sweeper in position outside of the power play overs who might have been able to cut that off, but not the case here. Just crashing that one away through the covers once it pierced that inner ring, easily running away for 4. Boy, that run rate is really looking good. And this next delivery, half-hearted appeal. This ball is a better delivery. Not as full as the previous one and just on the off-stump line. And had Sanjay Patel fishing at that one, not able to catch anything. But this is good, a good comeback delivery by Pinkal Patel. Next delivery in the air again and over the top of mid-wicket, running close to the boundary and getting there now. This is turning out to be a really, really productive over. 14 runs already from the over with one ball to come. Pinkal Patel is not having a good start overall to his spell. 48 runs on the board already. We're still with an over and a ball left inside the power play. So a great, great start to this innings by DESAI 11. Sanjay Patel, full delivery and clipped down to long on for a single. So very expensive over, the most expensive over so far in the match. 15 runs coming from that over. At the end of 5, one more left in the power play, but the DESAI 11 is off and running. We are 49 for 1. $49 for 1. Seem to have an unscheduled water break as there's a lot of water making its way onto the field. I mentioned that we'll be here all day. The fact that we are taking a water break at 9:05 a.m. According to my weather app, the temperature is 85 degrees. 85 degrees is not cool, but the reality is that it will only continue to get hotter for the rest of the day. The high temperature today here in the Frisco, Texas area is supposed to be 101. If we're taking water breaks at 85 degrees and that only delays the game, chances are that when it gets to the really hot part of the day, we still are going to be on the field. And the idea is to get through the game as quickly as possible to get yourself out of the conditions. But I'll let the umpires worry about that. In the meantime, we have a new bowler coming from the northern end. This is Sandy Patel. Left arm around the wicket. Ooh, bowled him. Immediate success found here by Sandy Patel. Left arm around the wicket, angling it into the batter. That was a huge drive being essayed. Here, look on the replay. Left arm around the wicket between the umpire and the stumps. And a huge swipe across the ball. Sanjay Patel committing the ultimate sin of playing across a straight ball. Not quite short enough to play the shot that he tried to play. And he ends up just losing his middle stump. So that is the second wicket to fall. Sandy Patel, rather, finding immediate success. And the second wicket goes down. The score is now 49 for 2. $49 for 2, a good start by the DESAI 11, but they've just lost a wicket. And one of the best ways, of course, of slowing down a run rate is by taking wickets. So the new batter coming in now is Krunal Patel. Krunal Patel taking strike, and he's at the wicket because of the fact that Sanjay Patel played across a straight ball and in the process lost his middle stump. Again, we're still inside the power play overs. So the power play overs, the last 5 balls of the power play coming up. Protection in the deep are done at long off and long on. Here's the next delivery, just defended in front of the stumps. A more sedate start by Krunal Patel. Sandy Patel immediately finding success with his first delivery. And this next ball again, just looking to calm things down here are the Bardoli Blasters. Here's Sandy Patel again. And this is played back to the bowler. So good start after a relatively expensive over, the most expensive over of the inning so far that was bowled by Pinkal Patel. Sandy Patel is now on and slowing things down very nicely. Just slow through the air, left arm around the wicket. This one is a little too short, pulled around the corner. This is going to be 4. Boy, that fielder in at short, fine leg, almost in with a chance to get a catch there. Here we see on the replay from around the wicket, just too straight, going down the leg side. And that fielder diving at short, fine leg. That is Nikunj Patel. And not able to prevent that ball from running away for 4. Better delivery on off stump, defended into the onside for no run. So good, successful over so far despite the boundary. Now Sandy Patel just looking to close out the successful over. Here's again, last delivery, defended, back to the bowler for no run. So if you're the captain, you will take that. You'll take an over that concedes 4 runs and takes a wicket every time. That is the end of the power play. So at the end of 6, the score is 53 for 2. $53 for 2 outside of the power play, and now the new bowler in for the DESAI 11. Check that for the Bardoli Blasters is KP. KP right arm over the wicket. Looking to continue along the same vein that Sandy Patel has in slowing down the run rate. Certainly take the wicket if he gets it, but he's looking really to slow things down, and this is a stumping opportunity, and not quite sure what umpire Jagan Reddy's signal is. In fact, a very sedate signal, not very clear with his signaling, umpire, but at the end of all of that, I believe that he just indicated that the batter was not out. Very quick work by the keeper. Absolutely quick work, but luckily for Mehang Patel, he kept that foot grounded behind the crease. Next delivery, defended into the onside, and the bowler himself, KP, covers that, no run. But once again, a good start to the over. 3 dot balls on the trot. Here's KP again. This is slapped around the corner. That's going to run away, I think, for 4. Yep, fielder deep mid-wicket, just jogging around, which really is an indication that all he's doing is retrieving. We see on the replay, KP getting that one well too straight. Certainly on that replay, from that right arm over angle, going down the leg side, essentially presenting an easy scoring opportunity for Mehang Patel. Mehang Patel now up to 20 from only 12 balls faced, so he's very aggressive. Score ticking on to 57 for 2, and I'll tell you what, with the scoring rate still relatively high, 8.55, they are on target, the DESAI 11, to be in the 170 range if they maintain the same run rate. KP again. Oh, looking big, looking to go over cow corner and missing out. That was a good delivery. If not a good delivery, at least a delivery that was not worthy of the shot that was attempted to be played to it. And missing out on that time was Mehang Patel. Last ball, bowled and defended into the offside. So again, another good over. Consecutive overs where only 4 runs were conceded. Looks like the spinners are on, and the spinners are helping to slow things down for the Bardoli Blasters. The DESAI 11 being made to just rethink a little bit about how their innings is going. It started up very quickly, and the power play they were scoring somewhere around the rate of 10 and over. That overall rate now down to 8.14 as 2 consecutive overs have only yielded 8 runs combined. So that's a good comeback. A couple of overs for the Bardoli Blasters. And in the meantime, we're going to be making sure that things continue to tick along. And in fact, at the end of that over, it looks like we're going to have an official water break. So we'll be going silent here for about 5 minutes while that water break takes place. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Welcome back to the Northeast Community Park in Frisco, Texas. SLPS of Dallas-Fort Worth welcomes you to the 4th annual LPS International Cricket Tournament. Quick water break has been taken, and we are ready for the remaining 13 overs of this first innings. The DESAI 11 winning the toss and choosing to bat. And after having made that decision, I think so far it's proven to be the right decision. If you have the ability as a batting side to put runs on the board quickly, and you get through the first innings with somewhere around 150, 160 on the board, then that puts you in good stead, I think, for the rest of the match. As of right now, we're looking at a projected score of 163 if they maintain the same scoring rate at which they're scoring right now. 57 for 2 after 7. This is going to be Sandy Patel continuing, bowling from the northern end, bowling around the wicket left armor. And he's bowling to Mehang Patel. Ooh, just wrapping him on the pad. No harm, no foul eventually. So starting off the 8th over here with a dot ball. Next delivery, very full, driven into the offside. Cannot get past that fielder at cover. So again, two really good overs prior to this one, and this one is also starting out very economically. The spinners, I think, are doing the job, going back and playing across the line, and umpire Jagan Reddy raises the finger. So maybe that pressure that was being built is what actually took this wicket. Here we see on the replay, good work by Roddy and the guys in the production area to get us this replay. Going back and pulling across the line. The ball maybe not quite that short and not getting any bat on it. Very much just across the line. Missing out, and really the batter has nobody to blame that time but himself. That is Krunal Patel, who has to take the long walk back to the pavilion. Krunal Patel, 4 from 8. Make that 4 from 9. So not able to get his innings going the way that he would have wanted to. And the third wicket of the day goes down. The DESAI 11 started out very, very quickly, but the Bardoli Blasters seem to have roared back into contention in this match. A couple of overs ago, we were saying that the projected score was 173. The projected score as of right now is 152. So if you manage as a bowling side to knock 20 runs off of the projected score, that means you're doing your job as a bowling side. This is really good bowling. The last few overs in particular. Over number 6 went for 4 runs and a wicket fell. Over number 7 went for 4 runs. Over number 8, which is now in progress, has seen no runs scored from it, and the wicket has already fallen. So really, really good effort. So the new batter in now is Sagar Patel, facing up to Sandy Patel. Down the leg side, looking to whip this one away. Throw going to the non-striker's end. That actually is 2 runs because one delivery down the leg side was wide. And the keeper not able to collect it means that they ran for that second ball. Second run rather. So 2 more runs to the total. And Krunal Patel, check that, Mehang Patel is back on strike. Full outside off and another wide. So as soon as I mentioned how economical they were being, all of a sudden a few runs coming in wides. Sandy Patel again, left arm around the wicket, defended into the covers for no run. So yesterday you saw a lot of wides in the matches that we're following. This day so far, just 13% of the total runs coming in wides, as this is clipped down to straight mid-wicket, or let's call it wide mid-on, and they run through for a single. So just 1 ball remaining here now in the 8th. That overall run rate now down to 7.79. Oh, just for a split second, Sagar Patel having a thought of going big, but checked the shot at the last second and just defending it back down the wicket. So another successful over. 4 runs coming from that over, 3 of which were wides and a wicket. So the last 4 overs have yielded 4 runs each, and 2 wickets have fallen. So this is really good bowling, a good fight back from the Bardoli Blasters. Score is 61 for 3. $61 for 3 after 8. This is really a good start here by the Bardoli Blasters, and they've fought back. After the DESAI 11 were looking to run away with this game, but they've pulled things back with good quality spin bowling. KP back on now for his second over. Right arm over the wicket, very full, driven down the ground, a couple of bounces, long on in position to get that. So just one run. KP bowling to now Sagar Patel, who will be facing his first ball. Mehang Patel been there for 17 deliveries and scored 22. This is defended into the onside. Immediately off the mark is Sagar Patel. And the DESAI 11 were really going great guns in the first few overs, but things have been slowed down tremendously. KP now bowling to Mehang Patel. Flighted delivery and a big drive being essayed and missed, so that is a good delivery. Very full, almost Yorker length in fact. That might have almost pitched right on the popping crease. And another dot ball, so things again slowing down tremendously for the DESAI 11. KP now looking to keep that going. This is pulled into the deep. There's a man out there. Ooh, good stop. And looking for a second. They come back for the second. Throw into the keeper's end. They were a little unsure about going for that second run for a bit, but in the end, they made it without much fuss. So two more. Score ticking on now to 65 for 3. Mehang Patel, certainly the senior partner, looking to hopefully wrest some of the advantage back. And this is lofted in the air deep, well over the top of cow corner. That goes away for 6. So a long period of sort of quietness by the DESAI 11. But this one, Mehang gets a delivery that he likes. Very straight, very full in the slot, really. And hoisted away over cow corner for 6. So that is the second 6 that has been hit in a while. In fact, hit by Mehang Patel. Next delivery and defends in front of the crease. That's going to be defended. Just one ball remaining here in the 9th over. KP again. This is defended. In fact, just played off the back foot into the covers. Sweeper coming off of the ropes to clean that one up. And that is the end of the over. So after several very silent, quiet overs, the DESAI 11 open things up and get 11 runs from the 9th over. So after the 9th, the score is 72 for 3. $72 for 3. Sagar Patel is now on strike. Mehang Patel, the non-striker, is up to 31 from 21. Actually, check that. It is Mehang Patel who's going to be on strike to start things here. In the 10th, Sagar Patel 1 from 2. Mehang Patel 31 from 21. So he certainly is a senior partner looking to hopefully wrest some of the advantage back from the Bardoli Blasters. He certainly did that in the last over. It looks big again. This is lofted down the ground. An easy catch taken by long off. Running around by maybe 5 or so yards to his right. Hit in the air but without much power. And Mehang Patel rather ends up just holding out to long off. Here we see on the replay another wicket taken by Sandy Patel. Lofted in the air, down the ground, and just a few steps to his right. That fielder down there taking a pretty straightforward catch. And so yet another wicket falls. The DESAI 11 started out this innings, this match very aggressively. but they seem to have lost the plot here in the last few overs. 72 for 4 is the score. 4 big wickets have fallen in the last 5 overs. And the spinners for the Bardoli Blasters are doing the damage as things are slowing down. All the set batters are out. Just looking at the quick scorecard, Sanjay Patel 20 from 16, Mehang Patel 30 from 22. Those are the two who did most of the damage. But those two are already back in the pavilion. We also lost Shivang Patel 8 from 7. Krunal Patel, LBW 4 from 8. And so things are slowing down tremendously. This new batter going in now is going to be Roshan Patel. Roshan Patel coming to the wicket to join Sagar Patel. And again, things seem really to be slowing down tremendously for the DESAI 11 after a really promising start. Remember, we were talking about them scoring something around 150, 173 had they maintained the run rate at which they were scoring 5 overs ago. Unfortunately for them at this stage, it's only going to be, I think, a matter of trying to recover the momentum that they've lost. As of right now, they're scoring at the rate of 7.85 and over. If they maintain that rate, they'll be at 157, but they'll certainly want a whole lot more than that, I would think, especially given the start that they had. A scoring rate of 8 from here gets them to 159. A scoring rate of 10 gets them to 180. But 4 wickets down is going to make all of that really hard. Next delivery, or the first delivery to Roshan Patel outside the off stump, just letting it go by for a dot ball. Here's the next delivery, looking to cut that away and not making any contact. So 3 dot balls to start the over here for Sandy Patel. He's bowled really well so far. This is his 3rd over. He's taken 3 for 8. Tremendous bowling by the left arm spinner. Next delivery defended in front of the stumps for no run. The spinners have done the job in the last few overs for the Bardoli Blasters, but none better than Sandy Patel. Here is again, next delivery, cutting this behind point. That point fielder to his left. Bit of an awkward tumble, but more importantly, prevents any runs from being scored. Sandy Patel working on a wicket maiden here with just 2 balls remaining in his 3rd in the 10th overall. Looking for a single, it is not there. Another dot ball, pressure continues to build. Roshan Patel looking to get off of strike. And in fact, that was the last ball of the over. So a wicket maiden in the 10th. Sandy Patel, 3 overs, 3 wickets for 8 runs conceded. So tremendous bowling by the left arm orthodox spinner. We're halfway through the innings. The last 5 overs have only yielded 23 runs. So that fight back is well and truly underway by the Bardoli Blasters. And after a really promising start, as I said, the DESAI 11 have a bit of cleanup work to do. The new bowler now coming from the southern end. Short pulled away through mid-wicket. That's just going to be a single. This new bowler is Devin Haricha. He's yet another spinner. A ton of spinners being used here by the Bardoli Blasters. Good delivery. Oh boy, another really good ball. The spinners really going to work here and choking the life out of this innings. Oh, looking again to force this off the back foot. So a single and then 2 dot balls. And look at that, a more aggressive field being set now as a man at short third man has now been put into place. For a second, I thought it was going to be going to slip, but just needing to have that field a short third man. Appeal for a stumping, and he is gone. Quick work behind the wicket, really quick work. The keeper immediately collecting, and the batter on that occasion overbalancing. And that's Sagar Patel, I believe, who's gone. Nope, that's Roshan Patel stumbling forward out of his crease. He didn't necessarily commit to coming forward and meeting the ball on the half volley, just sort of leaning forward without actually coming all the way out to get to the pitch of the ball. And unfortunately for him, he missed. And really quick work behind the stumps by the keeper to immediately collect that ball and whip the bails off in a flash. And another wicket maiden, if you can believe it, is being worked on here. Devin Haricha is on the way to bowling another wicket maiden. It would be the second consecutive wicket maiden, and that really has the effect of choking the life out of the side. The DESAI 11, after a great start, are sputtering in the middle overs here. They are now 7-3 for 5. It's still a long way to go, but at this point, there certainly is advantage to the Bardoli Blasters over the last several overs. Seven to 3 for 5. Devin Haricha in his first over has started out very well here. 4 dot balls and a wicket to boot. The new batter is Dipen Desai. Dipen Desai defending this one into the backward point area. Another dot ball, and so once again, we are one delivery away from consecutive wicket maidens. A wicket maiden is a precious commodity in any form of cricket. 2 consecutive wicket maidens inside of the middle overs of a T20 is a precious commodity indeed. And here we are, the second consecutive wicket maiden. First bowled by Sandy Patel. This next one bowled by Devin Haricha. Tremendous bowling being exhibited here by the Bardoli Blasters. And all of a sudden, an innings that appeared to have been cruising toward the 170 mark and above is now sputtering toward what is going to be, I think, a below par score. As of right now, the scoring rate has fallen to 6.64. At this rate, they will only get to 133. If they get to 133, I think they will be very disappointed. Of course, we were saying earlier on that they were on par to be somewhere around 173. So shaving 40 runs off of a projected score, that's just tremendous, tremendous bowling here in the middle overs. So a new bowler on. This is going to be Nikunj Patel. First ball is knocked down the ground for a single. Next ball is cut away. Running around to short third man. Pretty straightforward. So 2 consecutive singles. So the first scoring of any kind to take place in the last 12 deliveries has taken place here. Short pounded into that big open space in the deep. Good running by the bowlers, or the batters rather, coming around, and really a sense of urgency being developed here. You get the sense that this pair, DESAI and Sagar Patel, have decided, even though they're both relatively new to the crease, it is up to them to inject some momentum into the back end of this innings. Next delivery, looking to go down the leg side and just a little too straight behind the batter, and goes through for wide. Wide signaled by umpire Jagan Mohan Reddy. Next delivery, stroked down the ground, pretty straightforward. Oh, it gets right through mid-on, or long on rather. That should have been stopped. Should have been 1 run, but they end up conceding 4. So that will lift the spirits of the DESAI 11 just a little bit. That will certainly annoy Nikunj Patel. He's now conceded 9 runs from his 4 overs, or from his 4 deliveries so far. And you see on the replay, boy, fielder down there at long on appeared to have it covered. It was hit pretty firmly, but directly to him. And he had all kinds of time to see it and judge how he was going to pick it up. But just having it go right through him, going away for 4. Score ticking on now to 82 for 5. Do we have another twist in the momentum in this innings? Can it be the case that the DESAI 11 turn things around from the way that the last several overs before this have gone? Only time will tell, as we're able to now see that the bowler, again, Nikunj Patel, turned the arm over the other way this time. This is the leg spinner, and it's defended in front of the stumps for no run. So just 1 ball remaining here in the 12th. Sagar Patel, 9 from 7. And you get the sense that it might be up to him to get anything substantial the rest of the way. This is just cut into the backward point area. A dot ball to end things here in the 12th. 9 runs total from the over. At the end of 12, the score is 82 for 5. $82 for 5. DESAI 11 started up very quickly. The advantage has been wrested back from them by the spinners of the Bardoli Blasters. Devin Haricha back in for his 2nd over. This is defended Yorker length. And look at this. Ooh, an opportunity. Oh, my goodness. The opportunity was there for a run-out, but instead, with no one backing up, they can see a 2nd ball, a 2nd run, rather. Really had an opportunity to have a run out there, but just the first ball of the over, instead of going for 1, went for 2. Full toss, actually not a low full toss, almost like the ball was landing right on the popping crease. Just defended for no run. Next delivery. Ooh, look at this. Looking to work it away on the onside. Not able to get anything on it. So another dot ball. Devin Haricha rather. 1.3 overs, 1 for 3. As this ball is worked behind square. Keeper does the work to run across and retrieve that. Just a single taken. 85 for 5. And so defended back to the bowler. The spinners have really taking the opportunity to rest things back. This next ball is worked down to corner. That is a single to end things here in the 13th over. At the end of 13, just 4 runs coming from that over. At the end of 13, the score is 86 for 5. $85 for 5. I believe what we have here is an unofficial water break. Just to look at the total scorecard thus far again. Matter of fact, I said 85 for 5. The official score is 86 for 5. Looking at the overall scorecard, Sanjay Patel 20 was bowled by Sandy Patel, 20 off 16. Shivang Patel 8 from 7. He was caught. Jikesh bowled Bawin. Mehang Patel caught by the substitute fielder, bowled by Sandy Patel, 30 from 22. Krunal Patel, LBW, bowled Sandy Patel, 4 from 8. Sagar Patel not out, 10 from 10. Roshan Patel stumped, bowled by Devin Haricha, and Dipen Desai not out, 4. So Sagar Patel and Dipen Desai are both being asked to steady the ship and maybe get into position to make a launch going towards the back end of this innings. First delivery of the 14th is a wide ball. It's over, still being bowled by Nikunj. Slapped in the air towards that big gap out there between square leg and mid wicket, and it runs away for 4. So welcome runs. That is Sagar Patel. Again, I think I mentioned a second ago that if you're going to get anything of substance the rest of the way, it might be on Sagar Patel to be there at the end. That stroke gets him up to 14. He's now 14 from 11. He's being supported by Dipen Desai. Dipen Desai has 4 from 7. But Sagar Patel, one feels, is the difference between a score that you can defend and the below par score. Full toss, whipped around the corner. This is going to be 4 more. This is a good fight back by Sagar Patel. Very full and drifting down the leg side too. So not a good delivery from Nikunj Patel. And you see here on the replay, Nikunj full, well down the leg side, and just easy runs really. Helping himself to those easy runs, and the fielder coming around from backward square leg was not going to be anywhere close to being able to cut that off. So now a change in the field as you have a fielder going back to third, or to fine leg rather, or really let's call it backward square leg. In fact, now he's coming back inside the circle and going to a conventional short fine leg position. So there's a deep square leg, there's a deep mid wicket, there's a short fine leg. Next delivery, that's a good ball, good comeback. Look at this. Oh, almost an opportunity for run out, direct hit, and umpire says not out. Good piece of work though. A dot ball for the 3rd delivery of the 14th over. $95 for 5. A bit of a fight back again being shown here by Sagar Patel and the DESAI 11. Next delivery by Nikunj Patel. Full whipped straight to that fielder. Short fine leg. Oh, throw to the keeper's end. Oh, just a quick throw and easily could have been asking a serious question to the umpire had that been a direct hit. But the keeper taking the time to collect and then knock the stumps down is, I think, what saved DESAI on that occasion. So he is now on strike. Score ticks up to 96 for 5. Sagar Patel 19 from 14. DESAI looking to offer some assistance to his partner. This ball is short of a length but not quite there to be cut. Attempted cut shot is missed. 10 runs from the over so far. Looking to cut this away. Not collected cleanly by the keeper, but he won't worry about that because that is another dot ball. Well, the first 2 balls of this over yielded consecutive boundaries. But after that, things calmed down a little bit. So just 10 runs coming from the over total. At the end of 14, score is 96 for 5. 96 for 5. Devin Haricha back on to bowl his 3rd over. So far, he's bowled brilliantly. 2 overs, 1 for 5. And he's bowling to DESAI. Check that, bowling to Sagar Patel. This was whipped around the corner. Not a good delivery. You see Devin Haricha kick the ground in disgust because he knows he got that one wrong. Drifting down the leg side and conceding really a very easy boundary. We'll see on the replay, well too straight, just well down the leg side. And here on that replay, you see him kicking the ground because, again, he knows he got that one wrong. Obviously needs to be a lot straighter, needs to be an off stump. Sagar Patel now up to 23 from 15. And that stroke brings up the 100. So a little bit of momentum. Again, there have been a couple of swings in momentum in this match so far. Right now, that momentum seems just to be going the way of the DESAI 11. They started out strongly. They were pulled back with some good spin bowling. And they appear now to be trying to charge towards the end of this innings. Stroked down the ground. This is just going to be a single as Parthiv coming off of the fence to get that one right back to the non-striker's end. So 5 runs already scored in this over, the 15th in progress with 3 to come. Very slow through the air, knocked into the covers, backward point really for no run. Now, short delivery again, lofted over the infield. This is going to be just 1. No, in fact, they come back for 2. Pretty easy opportunity to come back for 2 runs. And another 2 means that the score now ticks up to 103. Looking to make sure that he continues to go in the same vein as DESAI. He's back on strike with just 1 ball to go. Very slow through the air and slapping it down to long on for a single. So another productive over. 8 runs coming from it. 32 from the last 5, so that scoring rate is picking up just a little bit again for the DESAI 11. And at the end of 15, 5 more overs to go. The score is 104 for 5. next delivery just to start the 16th over. Pretty straightforward ball and right through Sagar Patel. So yet another change in momentum as the man who I think who's most going to be likely to take things deep for the DESAI 11 is dismissed. A pretty straightforward ball bowled by KP. KP takes another wicket. So the 6th wicket goes down. 104 for 6 is the score. And in fact, I was incorrect. That's not Sagar Patel who was dismissed. The man dismissed is Dipen Desai. Dipen Desai, the captain, unfortunately gets knocked over. But KP doing his job. His first 2 overs cost 15 runs, but the first delivery of his 3rd over takes a wicket. Scores 104 for 6. .104 for 6. Wicket goes down. KP is the bowler who has taken that wicket. And now the new batter in for the DESAI 11. Left-handed batter. Haven't seen very many left-handers in this tournament so far, but left-handed batter is going to be Sagar Patel. Nope, Sagar Patel is actually, there's two number 11, 2 number 10s. There's a quick throw towards the striker's end, not going to be out. But yes, there are 2 number 10s, so forgive the confusion. Sagar Patel is the right-hander who is 24 from 17. The new batter is actually Bhumish Patel. So Bhumish Patel, the left-hander, Sagar Patel, the right-hander. Bhumish Patel immediately off the mark. And now Sagar Patel back on strike. Slapped down the ground, a couple of bounces, too long off. Fumbles it just a little, but only 1 run taken. So Bhumish Patel back on strike. Right arm around the wicket is KP bowling to him. Oh, thick edge right to slip and dropped. He put him down. Boy, you have that slip fielder there for the new batter. And in fact, the new batter who's a left-hander is a really good idea to have a slip in position. That ball is leaving him. Exactly what you wanted to have happened, but he put him down, but then he goes in the air and another drop. Oh, consecutive drops. Oh my goodness, 2 straight drops. Bhumish Patel is asking for a new bat. Apparently the bat that he has is the one that has all the edges on it. 2 straight deliveries that really, either of which should easily have taken wickets. But 2 consecutive drops, you don't see that happen very often. That slip catch was a pretty straightforward chest high chance. If you're at slip, those are the ones that you want. Then the next delivery hoisted into the air, and then this next ball is hammered down the ground to square leg. They get 1, the throw coming back to the keeper's end, not going to be in time. So an eventful over, a couple of drops, 5 runs coming from it, and a wicket. After all of that, the score is 109 for 6. 16 overs bowled, just another 4 to go. And boy, I'll tell you, we look like we're coming toward the back end of the innings that has some excitement. A lot going on, but at the end, up that 16th over, scores 109 for 6. Next over, starting here. Oh, direct hit at the non-striker's end. Umpire not sure whether or not it was out. In fact, he signals not out. That was very close. That was actually very close. Looking at the replay, that easily could have been adjudged out. Next delivery in the air. Big hit coming this direction and landing right here in front of us. And I just fielded the first ball I've fielded in, I don't know, 15 or so years. Ball lofting right in our direction. Clean strike. Goes for 6 and lands right here in front of us in the commentator's area. So 6 runs to Bhumesh Patel, put down in consecutive deliveries the last match, or last over, right, rather. And this is hit straight down the ground for a single. So Bhumesh Patel taking full toll of the fact that he's been let off a couple times. And he's going to want to make sure that he continues going in that vein. Next ball. Struck on the ground. That's well hit out toward us again. A lot of activity all of a sudden. And 118 for 6 is now the score. Bhumesh Patel going for the big hits. Not able to get to it. Next delivery slow through the air and pounded down to cow corner for a single. .119 for 6 as Sagar Patel moves up to 30 from 22. And that is the end of the 17th over. So after 17, a bit of a fight back again being shown here by the DESAI 11. And after that short passage of play, this pair looks ready to be able to put something close to a good total on the board. There will be certainly, it won't be easy for them to get there, but I think that they'll be able to, at least if they continue along the same vein, that they'll look for the opportunity to get things going. Starting off the 18th, a single to start things. Devin Haricha, 23 runs conceded from his 4 overs. He's done for the day, and then KP is now starting out his last over. KP conceded 21 runs already from his 3 overs and 1 ball. It's Bhumesh Patel back on strike. in the air for a while, didn't quite care to backward point. Left-hander appears to be having trouble reading the right-handed off-spinner. Coming around the wicket to him. Big swing and a miss. And he is given stumping. Quick work there by the keeper. That is the second stumping that he's had. I mentioned that Bhuvnesh Patel appeared to have trouble reading the left hand or the finger spinner from around the wicket into him. That ball is leaving him. He edged one straight forward to slip. He lofted another one in the air that was dropped in the covers, but here we see into KP with that delivery into Bhuvnesh Patel. And that ball turning away from him, missing the outside edge, and a really good job by the keeper to just whip those bails off in a flash. And so the 7th wicket goes down. We're 3 deliveries into the 18th over. DESAI 11 sputtering towards the end of their innings. 7 down and a long way to go for them to get to something respectable, I would think. But from their perspective, I think all they need to do is just be sure to bat the innings out. If they get all the way to the end of the innings, then anything can happen. But the way that things are going right now, they don't appear to be doing just that. But you'd want to think that they'd have the ability to go in that direction. Not shown that ability so far. Every time they've built momentum in the last couple of overs, things have fallen back off on the wayside. And unfortunately for them, they're going to have trouble maintaining that momentum. The new batter in. He's now at the wicket. We'll get his name as soon as we have it. Delivery. Yes, no, and they eventually go for a single. So this new batter is going to be Nilesh Desai. Nilesh Desai, a right-handed batter, and he's still there with Sagar Patel. Sagar Patel, you really do get the sense that it's all on him now. And it's struck down the ground. That is a really well-struck ball and goes all the way for 4. Right down the ground, directly piercing that gap between long off and long on. The fielder running around from long on, a diving attempt, but not able to get to it. And so another good passage of play. Sagar Patel is now at 35, and he's playing a lone hand here because he is already the highest scorer in the innings, and he may be the only thing preventing the Bardoli Blasters from something positive. Now, yes, now. Oh, look at this. Nobody home. That could easily have been a run out at the non-striker's end. Both batters were in the middle of the pitch. And that throw going down towards the non-striker's end, had there been someone there protecting those stumps, it really should have been a wicket. You argue that it absolutely had to have been a wicket if you wanted to close things out here if you're the Bardoli Blasters. But not able to get that done. That's effectively a relatively straightforward chance for the 8th wicket that was missed. And you don't want to ever see that happen, but unfortunately, did not happen. Boy, 126 for 7. Everyone calms down just a little bit now as Nilesh Desai is the person who's being asked to stay there with Sagar Patel. This is defended into the onside. The throw coming to the keeper's end. Keeper is not happy. They concede what really should have been a pretty straightforward run. Next delivery. Defended in front of the stumps. This is Sandy Patel, who's bowling his last over. And Sandy Patel getting the responsibility of bowling the 19th. This is always a very important over. Looking for the big hit, not getting it. Sandy Patel bowled beautifully so far. 3 for 10 from his 3 overs and 2 balls. And really, from his standpoint, he just wants to close things out well here. And another good delivery. Boy, they're not able to get anything on these deliveries from Sandy Patel. In the air, pretty simple catch for short third man, and he takes it easily. Sandy Patel, the chief destroyer, taking yet another wicket. Boy, Sandy Patel doing all of the work that his captain needs for him to do. You see, lofted, just a thick outside edge, even though he tried to force the issue by walking across his stumps, but only ended up getting a thick edge off the splice. And a simple catch taken at short third man. So the 8th wicket goes down, and 4 of those 8 wickets have been taken by Sandy Patel himself. This is great, great bowling by this young left-handed off-spinner. .128 for 8 is now the score. Sandy Patel with 1 ball remaining in his spell, but really has bowled excellently. Overall run rate now down to 6.8. And they were going at the rate of 10 and over not too long ago, somewhere inside the power play. So on balance, I would think that you would say that honors have to go so far to the Bardoli Blasters. And of course, the man dismissed is the one who I thought was most likely to be responsible for putting a big score on the board. Sagar Patel, he's dismissed for 37 from 29 with 5 fours. And the new batter at the crease is now Raj Patel. He joins Nilesh Desai. Raj Patel. Now next delivery. Oh, forced off the back foot to backward point. No run, and that ends just a brilliant spell from Sandy Patel. 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 10. Just excellent, excellent bowling by the orthodox spinner. And at the end of 19, the score is 128 for 8. Last over about to be bowled. 128 for 8 is the score. Raj Patel on strike. And looking to hoik this one away. And they run through for a single. That should be a leg by. No signal from the umpire, but I think that came off the pad of the batter. Last over being bowled by Nirupal Patel, opening bowler. His bowled so far 2 overs, none for 14. And this next delivery is outside, off, and another dot ball. So reaching out for this one and not able to get any bats on it was Raj Patel. So 2 consecutive dot balls, 20th over. Next one, slap to backward point. They run through for a quick single. That's all they'll get. So DESAI 11 has gotten past the score that they had yesterday. They scored 129 all out yesterday. They're now at 130. But I have to say that they would have felt that they should have gotten much more than that given the start that they had. Lofted down the ground just for a single. And 1 ball to go here in the first over. At the end of this first over, the score 1-3-1. And this is knocked down the ground. They should be coming back for the second. Nothing to lose. Throw coming into the keeper's end. Not going to be in time. So they get 2 off that last ball. And after those 2 deliveries, 5 runs coming from the last over. From that last over. From that last over, 5 runs are scored. 133 for 8 is the score, which means the Bardoli Blasters are going to have to score 134 for victory. So we're going to take a short break at the end of the innings. We'll be back for the chase in about 15 minutes. For now, signing off from Northeast Community Park. Welcome back to the Northeast Community Park in Frisco, Texas. The Bardoli Blasters were asked to go in the field. The DESAI 11 chose to bat. They started out really well, but fell apart towards the end and only put a score, what I believe is a low, below par score of 133 on the board, which means that the Bardoli Blasters, in order to take the victory, have to score 134. Brian Walters again with you. And the openers charged with getting to that total of 134 are Devin Haricha and Parthiv Patel. Opening bowler for the DESAI 11, who will be looking to pull things back, is Kitan. Kitan Desai, tall opening pacer. And he will be asked to get a couple of good overs in there to hopefully pull things back and prevent this opening pair from getting away to a flyer. It's interesting to see how this opening pair is going to approach it. It's kind of a middling score. It's not the type of score that you have to go just all out from the beginning. So you can afford to take a look and actually get your bearings underneath you, kind of get a sense of how the pitch is playing. Of course, there's on an artificial surface, there shouldn't need to be a lot of that. But either way, we go here from the start. Ketan Desai is going to be bowling to Devin Haricha. And we'll see what type of start we have here. Sweeper out on the covers, or in the covers, and the third man. Those are the two outside the circle. And Devin Haricha's first delivery is defended into the offside, bowling around the wicket. It's an interesting ploy for Ketan Desai to start out bowling around the wicket to the right-handed batter. Obviously, when you do that, you immediately eliminate a BW, and you create the scenario where you have to have a good line. It'll be interesting to see those first two deliveries on or about leg stump, which from around the wicket might not be the best thing for you to do. Let's see if you can get that angle going across the right-hander. Next delivery, that's the angle that I was referring to, but just opening the face and running it down to third man for a single. So the first run of the innings is on the board. In fact, that was Parthiv Patel who took strike for the first 3 balls. He now has 1 against his name, and Devin Haricha coming in to strike for the first time. A 134 target means that they'll have to score at the rate from here of 6.82 and over. Very doable, of course. You don't need to go crazy trying to get to that type of a total. Just don't want to get tied down. Next delivery is a little too far outside off stump for the first wide of the innings. Ketan Desai, tall right arm seamer. Again, operating from around the wicket. When you operate at that angle, you're going to need to get that ball on off stump. And he is defended into the mid-wicket area for what appears to be a quick single. So 2 balls remaining here in the first over. Ketan Desai going to be bowling from the next. Oh, he obviously is the opening bowler, so you expect him to bowl at least a couple. This one going down the leg side and yet another wide. 50% of the runs so far in this first over have been scored from wides. 2 singles and 2 wides. Here's getting DESAI again. This is driven into the covers. Good diving stop by that fielder coming around to his left. That is DESAI, making sure that that ball stays on the infield. There's a sweeper out there to provide cover, but it's important to cut these singles off. Next delivery, cutaway over the top, third man, right in position. One bounce that goes directly to him. And that is that 1 run to complete the first over. So after 1, score is 5 without loss. Five without loss, 134 target means that they have another 129 runs to go. Ketan DESAI's first over, going for just those 5 runs. And Bardoli Blasters, generally from what I can see, are a good batting side. Just in looking at the match that they played yesterday, Bardoli Blasters chasing a target of 107, got to that target in 8 overs. Tremendous hitting by that pair of Devin Haricha at the top of the lineup, 49 from 22, and Sandeep Patel, 48 from 24. So you expect that they can be a big hitting side if they need to be. Certainly took an easy game yesterday. So far, the bowling now coming from the north end is going to be Sanjay Patel. Sanjay Patel bowling to Parthiv Patel. Right arm over the wicket. In bowls. Ooh, looking to force this off the back foot. Maybe just a little too close to him for that type of shot. Oohs and ahs as that ball fizzes past the off stump. And a good start to the over here so far by Sanjay Patel. Next delivery, looks to whip this away over the top. Appeal for LBW, but umpire Jagan Mohan Reddy says not out. So a good start to the over here by Sanjay Patel. 2 dot balls. And Parthiv Patel looking to get going. This ball is stroked down to mid-off. Bit of a fumble. And the first run scored off of Sanjay Patel. So this opening pair taking their time to get started. Currently scoring at the rate of 4 runs and over. Not necessarily needing to go much further and much quicker than that because they're only chasing 6.9 and over. 6.9 and over means that to the extent that they can maintain something close to run a ball to start this innings, should be able to overhaul this total without much fuss. Here's Sanjay Patel again. It's defended into the leg side and a quick single taken. Fielder Ketan DESAI coming across from backward square leg, not able to prevent that single. So again, all that's really needed for the Bardoli Blasters from here is just to keep things going. Don't let any dot balls build up. Just keep getting the singles, 1s and 2s. Stay in the chase, and you'd think that things would get easier from there. This is going to be driven into the outfield. Good-looking drive that may not have the legs to reach all the way to the boundary. And in fact, it's pulled back. Both batters just jogging. Had they been committed to running faster, they very easily could have had 3, but as it is, they settle for 2. Parthiv Patel now 5 from 9 Overall score is 9. And it really is the case that even though the conditions are hot and sticky, if they continue along this path, they really should put themselves in a position for a pretty straightforward victory. Next delivery, punched to mid-on, another single taken. So just very straightforward, no fuss, no reason to take any chances. A single to end things here in the second. After 2, the score is 10 without loss. Ten without loss after 2. Second over about to be bowled by Kitan Desai, meaning his second over, the third over of the innings. His first over went for 5. Right arm right arm around the wicket, bowling to the right-handers. So again, a curious decision to bowl that angle to the right-handers, but from his standpoint, if he's only yielding 5 runs and over, then that might not be a bad idea. This next delivery is just defended in front of the stumps, no run. Once again, 2 fielders allowed outside the circle during the first power play overs, and those 2 fielders are down at third man and sweeping in the covers on the offside. So everyone else inside the circle, as Ketan Desai again whipped away over square leg. That's going to run away close to the boundary and get there now. So once again, if you're going to choose to bowl around the wickets, you're going to want to make sure that that line is outside off stump, because from that angle, if the bowler is bowling around the wicket to you, if it's aiming towards leg stump at all, there's virtually no risk in any such shot, just whipping it away over the leg side. Had he been struck on the pads from that angle, it is almost 100% likely that he would not have been given out. So that's one of the options that you lose as a right-handed bowler when you choose to go around the wicket to right-handed batter, is that it's almost virtually impossible to get an LBW shout. And your line has to be outside the line of off stump. And of fact, with third man and cover sweeper in place, that is where you'd expect that he would be bowling. Anything that's too straight will get put away. This is well played, gets through the infield, running away down towards the boundary, and gets there now. So 2 consecutive 4s. Not necessarily a bad delivery. It was on that off-stump line, but a good piece of batsmanship being shown there by Parthiv Patel, just opening the face, getting it to or through those 2 fielders behind point on the offside, and it runs away for 4. So the score now moves up to 18. Parthiv Patel has 14 of those 18 from 13 balls faced. Devin Haricha just keeping Parthiv Patel company right now, not being asked to do too much. Very full run off of the outside edge. Not going to be, no run scored. 18 without loss, and a long way to go, but already the start that the Bardoli Blasters have had would seem to indicate that they have this chase under control. Here's Kitan Desai again. Almost gets right through that area again. Similar type of shot to the one that yielded 4 runs a couple of deliveries ago. I mentioned that they needed to go at around 7 and over. Well, that required rate now is down to 6.76. The actual rate at which they're scoring is 6.35, so they're definitely within range and looking to force this away off the back foot and not being able to get there. A dot ball to close things out in the third. After 3 overs, the score is 18 without loss. Team without loss. Devin Haricha, the second opener, has only faced 2 deliveries in 3 overs. The majority of the deliveries that have been faced so far have been faced by Parthiv Patel. He's faced 16, and he scored 14 from those 16. Overall score of 18 without loss just means that another 116 runs are needed to be scored for the Bardoli Blasters to achieve victory. It should be Sanjay Patel again. Right arm over the wicket. He's starting his second over. That first ball just defended for no run. Devin Haricha has not had very many scoring opportunities yet, but you get the sense that he can score quickly if he's needed to. And just that quickly, looking for the big drive, missing out on that occasion, but not able to get the ball away. Looking at what Devin Haricha did yesterday in the match against the Kumbaria club, where they were looking to chase 108 for victory. Devin Haricha at the top of the order, 49 from 22 with 5 fours and 3 sixes. So he's certainly a capable batter, just based on that evidence from yesterday. And you get the sense that if he needs to go hell for leather, he can certainly do that. But as of right now, he's being asked to play a slightly different role, looking to force this off the back foot, and this should be a bye. No signal for the or from the umpires. So is he suggesting that that came off the edge? I believe that that's the case. So that might have been. Don't know that it was a drop. No, not much reaction from the fielder. So I don't think it was a drop. Might have just been a bye. Next delivery stroked into the offside. That man at mid-off. Moving to his left to cover it, and there's no run. So good over so far, being bowled by Sanjay Patel. Slower delivery, slapped down the ground, long off, coming around to keep the damage to 1 run. And so now just 2 balls remain, or 2 runs scored from this over with 1 ball remaining. It's a good over being bowled by Sanjay Patel. Each batter with 1 additional run. And this is just defended into the offside. A single to close things out here in the 4th. After 2 overs, check that after 4 overs, 2 overs bowled by Sanjay Patel. The score is 21 without loss. 4 overs gone, 21 without loss. New bowler coming from the south end is going to be Raj Patel. Raj Patel will be bowling to Devin Haricha. Right arm seamer bowling, right arm over the wickets. First delivery just defended into that backward point area for no run. Devin Haricha now 4 from 6, make that 7. And again, he was asked yesterday to open and score quickly, and score quickly he did. 49 from 33, from 23 rather. So you get the sense that if he needs to, he can. Playing a slightly different role here. The first 2 deliveries of this 5th over by Raj Patel have not been scored off of, and a long way to go, but things are starting out much more slowly than they did yesterday. This is a wide delivery outside off stump, and umpire Raju Kumar signaling as such. Still inside the power play, a fielder down at the boundary, long on, and a sweeper on the offside. And this is hammered away into the offside. That sweeper I just mentioned comes across, and 2 runs as he's not able to get that ball back quickly in time. So Raj Patel so far in his first over, 3 runs scored from it so far, 2 off the bat. That last delivery you saw was the only thing that has come off the bat so far in this over, along with that 1 wide. And another one yielding runs off the bat as that fielder from backward square leg trying to stop it with his foot, not able to do exactly that. But in any event, I don't think he would have preferred or prevented that single. Raj Patel again. Full Yorker length delivery. Defended into the covers for no run. Very sedate start, I have to say, for both teams. Neither one showing much intensity. 25 without loss is the score. Neither team is looking to really force the issue in any way. So you wonder exactly what turn is going to come next. This delivery just defended in front of the stumps on the offside. A dot ball to close things out here in the 5th. 5 overs gone, 1/4 of the way there, but only 25 runs on the board. So the Bardoli Blasters starting out this innings in a completely separate or different fashion as compared to how they started yesterday. Yesterday's match, they chased 107 runs in 8 overs, which is absolutely great going. It doesn't look like that's the frame of mind that they're in. And again, after 5 overs, they've only had 25 runs put on the board. So it'll be interesting to see at some point if they decide to flip the switch and start going for it, because the required rate is now up to 7.27. And if you're scoring at the rate of 7.27, you're relatively aggressive. But right now they're scoring at the rate of 5 and over, and 5 and over is obviously below par. 120 deliveries, 20 overs. A runner ball gets you to 120. 120 on this occasion will not be enough, so they'll need to up their run rate. They have 10 wickets in hand, so you don't get the sense that they're in any trouble, but you certainly want them to see or to show the ability to accelerate from here. New bowler coming from the north end is going to be Bomish Patel. Bomish Patel, a left-handed batter. And I believe also a left-handed bowler. Nope, right-handed bowler. Slapped to mid-on, no run. So Bomish Patel bats left-handed, but obviously bowls right-handed. So you'd expect for them to start being aggressive now. This is hoisted in the air, catching opportunity. Oh, landing safely. Oh, mid-off, had mid-off judged that properly. He could very well have been in with an opportunity for a catch. Didn't judge it very well. Just a little bit of wind blowing across the ground from your left to your right, blowing from the west. Don't know if that had a part to play with this. This is lofted down the ground. Good looking stroke. That goes all the way for 6. Clean strike by Parthiv Patel. He moves up now to 21 from exactly 21 balls faced. So I mentioned that they started out very sedately. You see the replay in the slot and just driven down the ground. Imperious stroke by Parthiv Patel. Easily put away for 6. So Bomish Patel is going to have some work to do to pull that length back and maybe get that ball a little bit more outside off stump. You're not wanting to provide easy scoring opportunities. They've started up very slowly here, the Bardoli Blasters, but the scorecard from yesterday indicates that they can accelerate if they need to. So you're still going to need to maintain some type of bowling discipline. Inside the power play, the 2 fielders who are outside the circle are at long on and long off. So there are runs to be scored on either side of the wicket. And that is cut away for 4 more. Too much width, and that length also isn't going to be something that he's proud of. So once again, I mentioned the 2 fielders are down the ground deep. So any protection on the boundary is only in those 2 areas. So once that flash shot, as you see the replay, just looking to flash that away. And once it passes the inner circle, that fielder at short third man, once it passes him, it's always going to run away for 4. So 11 runs so far from this over. This is forced off the back foot. 1 ball remaining in the over, but shackles have been broken just a little bit here. The Bardoli Blasters starting out very slowly, but they're looking to build on what I think is a scoring opportunity being presented to them. And this is lofted wide of long on, running around, sprinting, using the foot, not able to stop it. It goes away for 4. So very expensive over. The first over by Bomish Patel goes for 15 runs. You see on the replay that fielder sprinting around to his left, to his right rather, to our left, and he's trying to use the boot to stop that from running over the boundary ropes, not able to stop it. So the last 3 overs, or the overs so far, have gone for 5, 5, 8, 3, and 4 runs. Those are the first 5. But the 15th, or the 5th over, 6th over rather, has gone for 15 runs. So that is a good fight back by the Bardoli Blasters, and just with that 1 over, their run rate has now pulled almost exactly even with the required rate. The required rate from here is 6.67. Check that, 6.71, and the rate at which they're scoring is 6.67. So the opportunity is there for them to really take control of this game. And we're going to go back to Raj Patel, bowling from the south end of the ground. First delivery just defended into the mid-wicket area for an easy single. That is Devin Haricha, 8 from 12, now 9 from 13. And Parthiv Patel looking to be the more threatening of the pair. 29, not out from 24, and he's back on strike. Looking to sort of continue the shift in momentum that has developed here in the last several overs, or the last several balls rather. That last over gone for 15 runs, and the single taken to start the 8th, or the 7th rather. Outside off stump, looking to force it away off the back foot, not able to make any contact. Next delivery to Parthiv Patel. Off the back foot. This time there is protection out in the deep on the offside. Just a single. Parthiv Patel now up to 30 from 26, so he's scoring at more than a run a ball. Devin Haricha, sedate by comparison, 9 from 13. Looking to work this off his hips, running away down the hill, down to fine leg for 4. So a little too straight on that occasion by Raj Patel. Can't bowl that line. Any good batter will just ride the bounce, get inside the line of the ball, and just run it off the face of the bat down to fine leg. So a pretty simple leg glance, and he's rewarded for it for by scoring that 4. Six runs so far from the over with 2 balls to go. And Raj Patel needs to find that off stump. That's a better line, and this is forced off the back foot. Diving attempt by the fielder at short third man. He's not able to stop it. It runs away for 4 more. So that was not a bad delivery. He's on the right line. And a good piece of batsmanship just to ride the bounce by Devin Haricha, just to get that ball running, keeping it down. Unfortunately for Raj Patel, once that ball beat the inner circle, easily running away down the hill for 4. So 10 runs already from this, the 7th over. And 1 ball remaining here in the 7th. Can't exactly force it away, it just trickles into the covers. And that is the last ball of, the last ball bowl in the 7th. At the end of 7, the score is an even 50 without loss. So far we've had a water break after the 7th over of each match, and it appears that we will have another water break here. So here comes the water on the field, and we will take a short break, probably less than 3 or 4 minutes, but we'll be back with you shortly. 7 overs bowled. Exactly 50 on the board. Another 84 runs needed in 13 overs. So they need 84 runs in 78 balls. That equates to a required rate of 6.46. Very doable in modern cricket. And they still have 10 wickets in hand, the Bardoli Blasters. Bowler, again coming from the northern end, is Raj Patel. Check that. That bowler is Bhumish Patel. Bhumish Patel starts out with a dot ball. Here is again. Tossed up and driven into the covers. In fact, it gets through that fielder in the covers. Going to be just 1 run as the sweeper coming in off the boundary to clean up. So Devin Patel back on strike. He's 17 from 16, so almost scoring at a run and ball now. And this is slapped. No one out there in the deep on the leg side. Easy pickings, running away for 4. And with that stroke, Devin Haricha moving on to 21 from 17. So now both batters are striking it above 100 rate. 21 from 17 is Devin Haricha. Parthiv Patel, 31 from 28 with 4 fours and a 6. Devin Haricha himself with 3 fours. So scoring coming at an easier rate now, looking to force that off the back foot, not making any contact. So better delivery on that occasion from Bhumish Patel. Here he is again. We're looking to work that into the leg side. No run, half-hearted appeal for LBW. 5 runs from the over so far with just 1 ball to come. Bhumish Patel. Here's again, short and pulled just to backward square leg. Oh, almost got away from Ketan Desai, but he came across, prevented a run. That's good fielding from the big man at backward square leg. So a dot ball to end things out here in the 8th. Only 5 runs coming from the over. And after 8 scores, 55 without loss. Five without loss. Devin Haricha, 21 from 20. Parthiv Patel, 31 from 28. This pair starting out showing signs of wanting to cut loose from the slow pace of the innings initially, and they've scored a few more runs in the last couple of overs. The last 5 overs have gone for 37 runs. And bowling now from the south end of the field is Sanjay Patel. 2 players in number 10, Sanjay Patel and Bhumish Patel. So both number 10s in action. His first ball just forced off the back foot, going into the outfield for a single. The sweeper coming in off of the ropes to make sure that that's all the damage that there is. I said Sanjay Patel, my apologies. I meant Sagar Patel, who is now bowling from south end. His next delivery slapped. Oh, good stop by that fielder. Backward point. Not much, in fact, no coverage at all out there. So had that gotten by him, it very well could have been 4. So he certainly saved a boundary there. Sagar Patel again. Just dropping it into the covers. They go for a quick single. Pretty easy single in the end. Devin Haricha now 22 from 22. Parthiv Patel 32 from 29. And that scoring rate and the required rate both hovering around 6.7. Slapped away into the deep on the leg side. In fact, it doesn't quite get all the way down there. The fielder coming in off the boundary at deep mid-wicket to keep the damage to a single. And a little bit of a lull in the proceedings now, as not a lot of activity taking place. Sagar Patel again looking to pull this away. Appeal, and he's given him. Boy, Devin Haricha not happy with the decision. The umpire thinks about it and raises his finger. He's still standing there. I think Devin Haricha is trying to indicate that that ball was too high, thinking that it hit him on the thigh pad. Here, looking at the replay, to get a sense of exactly why he appears to be upset. Boy, we were shielded by the non-striker on that occasion, so hard to tell exactly where he was hit. But umpire's word is final. The umpire seems to think that that would have hit the stumps, and that is the only thing that matters. 58 for 1 is now the score. Another 76 runs needed. Devin Haricha taking the long walk back to the pavilion. He is dismissed for 22. From 23 balls faced with 3 fours. So he got a start, was very sedate for a while, and did not really ever cut loose. 3 fours, there were well-struck fours, but not the aggressive type of innings that you saw from Devin Haricha yesterday. And again, just based on what he did in yesterday's game. Yesterday's game, he's faced 22 balls. So today he faced 23 balls and scored 22 runs. Yesterday, he faced 22 balls and he scored 49 runs. So a different sort of innings overall by Devin Haricha. It is now Sandy Patel who is at the wicket. Sagar Patel defending, missing the outside edge with that delivery. So a successful over comes to an end by Sagar Patel. His first over only concedes 1 run, and he concedes 3 runs, and he takes a wicket. So it's a good start by him. Sandy Patel is now on strike, or at least he faced that 1 ball in that over. He's now the non-striker, as the bowling will be coming from the opposite end. Parthiv Patel, 33 from 30. But it might be time for him to start thinking about accelerating, because after 9 overs, the score is 58. They need to score another 76 runs in 66 balls. So you don't ever want to see that gap between number of balls left and runs needed. You don't ever want to see those two numbers, the space between them, getting any bigger. In other words, 76 runs now needed, 66 runs to get. 76 runs needed, 66 balls in which to get them. If they're building momentum towards the back end of their innings, you'd expect for those two numbers to draw closer to each other. And you're going to want to make sure that that is fixed. Now it looks like Bhumish Patel again operating from the north end. In a bowled short, looking to cut it away. No contact made. So Parthiv Patel, 33 from 31. So his scoring rate is also decelerated in the last several overs. In the air, clean strike down the ground, one bounce, four. Okay, so as soon as I say that his scoring rate has fallen, he's done enough to pump it back up again with a well struck forward down the ground. It's a lot of room out there. Wide off or mid off and mid on make that long off and long on are relatively wide, each of them. So there's a lot of room if you hit it straight down the ground. And that replay shows you that that ball was struck very nicely by Parthiv Patel. He's now up to 37 from 32. Looking to strike this through the offside. There's a sweeper down there in the covers. Good pick up and throw. One bounce right back to the keeper, to the non-striker's end. So a lot of activity still needs to happen. You're still looking to chase another 71 runs in 64 balls, 63 balls. Oh, very tossed up and defended into the backward point area for no run. In fact, they run through for a quick single. So 62 balls remaining, 70 runs. Right now that gap is 8. Keep watching that gap, because to the extent that those two numbers start converging, you get the sense that the Bardoli Blasters will be on the way toward victory. In other words, those two numbers continue to converge means that they're catching up with the required rate. Just knocked down the ground for a single. On the other hand, if there starts to be any gap between those two numbers, then it starts to go the other way. In other words, if the number of runs subtracted from the number of balls left continues to go the other direction, if that gap keeps getting bigger, then that might mean that the Bardoli Blasters have some additional work to make up. So just defended into the offside for no run. 7 runs come from the over. At the end of the over, the score is 65 for 1. $65 for 1. We're halfway through the chase. 10 overs bowled, so the rate at which they're scoring is 6.5. 69 runs needed to win, so the rate at which they need to score from here is 6.9. And Sagar Patel is back. His first over, he took a wicket and conceded 3 runs. So here he is for his second over. This is stroked down the ground. Should just be a single. Oh, wow, they come back looking for the second, and they get there pretty easily, actually. So that's good running. I have to say that's good running, but that's also not good fielding. That fielder from long on really should have been on that ball more quickly than that, conceding 2 runs when there really should have just been 1. And so now, here's Sagar Patel again. Good looking stroke coming here toward us. A lot of work for the fielder from long off to do, and not able to get there. That is Krunal running around to his left, but just a proper looking drive going through extra cover. A lot of work for Krunal running around from long off. He's not able to get there. So good looking stroke, and just another boundary added. So it appears that the memo has been received. Parthiv Patel now up to 45 from 36. Looking dangerous. Looking to whip this behind square. Gets 1, at least 1. Should get 2. Yes, coming back for the second. Here comes the throw. No signal from the umpire. So we will assume that those are runs, even though it appeared to have come off the body of the batter. Scoring rate picking up a little bit here in the last few balls. 3 balls bowled from the over so far. 8 runs scored. Required rate now down to 60, or required runs is now 61, and the required rate 6.42. Lovely looking stroke. Two more at least, as that fielder running around from third man comes across and prevents the ball from crossing over the boundary. But this is starting to be a very productive over for the Bardoli Blasters. Parthiv Patel now within one of his 50. And he's done the lion's share of the work so far. Has looked to be the more aggressive of the two openers. Then after his partner was dismissed, he's looking to make things go on. Knocked into the covers, and a throw towards the striker's end is not going to be in time, which means that Parthiv Patel has reached his 50. Great start for him to this innings. He raises the bat. He knows his work is not finished, but he's done enough, I think, to put his team just in front by a nose here. The last ball coming up here in the 11th over is going to be bowled to Sandy Patel. Sagar Patel yielded 14 runs so far from his 1 over and 5 balls. Oh, scoops this around the corner and is gone. I don't know that that was completely necessary. Walked across and looked to play the scoop shot, but unfortunately for him, scooped it directly to the fielder at short fine leg. And when he played that shot, he would have been absolutely mortified to see that it went straight to the fielder at short fine leg. He bobbled it, knocked it up in the air, but once it was that ricochet went up in the air, it was pretty easy to control things off that last ricochet, and just a very easy catch taken. So the second wicket goes down. 11 runs from the over, relatively expensive over, but it got a wicket. Sandy Patel is gone for 1 from 4 faced, and the score is 76 for 2. The new batter coming in now is Rajan Patel. Rajan Patel will be the non-striker because the wicket that fell at the end of the last over means that the bowling will now be coming from the northern end of the field. The batter on strike will be Parthiv Patel. He has 50 against his name from 39 balls faced. 76 for 2 means that the Bardoli Blasters are going to have to score at the rate of 6.44 to win this game. Once again, you would think that that's manageable. Looking at the gap between runs needed and balls left, 58 runs needed and 54 balls left. So we spoke earlier about the fact that if those two numbers continue to converge, that's a good sign for the Bardoli Blasters. So they will not be happy having lost that wicket, but you would also think that they know that they don't need to do anything rash to guide their team to victory here. So just looking at the way that things are, there is a lot of activity around the ground. Of course, you might be able to hear also the second match going on behind us. But for now, where we are with this game, this is going to be Bhumish Patel again bowling. Tossed up delivery, worked around the corner. Oh, diving attempt by Kitan Desai, not able to get to it. And then that passes over the boundary. That had to have gone over the boundary. Looks like they ran for 2, and from our perspective, boy, that really did look like it went over the boundary line. No signal from The bowler. Don't give it. From our perspective, that really looked like it should have been given as a 4. Nothing given. This is knocked down the ground and it gets through the fielder down there, long off for 4. So if that first delivery only went for 2 because it was signaled to have been 2 and not 4, which is what we thought, it appears that that well-struck ball right down the ground, and they do get the 4 runs that I believe they should have gotten on the previous delivery. So the score now moves up to 83 for 2. Boy, I don't know if the replay is available, but that really did look like 4. The fielder stopped it with his foot running around from backward square leg, but I think that easily should have been given as a 4. Tossed up and whipped towards that fielder again in the deep on the leg side. Just 1 run that time. So 8 runs from the over so far. Parthiv Patel 53 from 40. Rajan Patel 5 from 2. Bhumish Patel slow, tossed up and whipped again in the air down to backward square leg. Another single. Score now moving on to 85 for 2. Just another 49 runs needed now. As you see here, Bhumish Patel bowling relatively well, but not building any pressure. Stroked down the ground to long off. So just happy to do it in singles right now, the Bardoli Blasters. Rajan Patel now up to 6 from 3. Parthiv Patel 54 from 41. And Parthiv Patel is on strike for this, the last delivery in the 12th over. Very full and defended back to the bowler. Fielding and has followed through for no run. So that is the end of a productive over for the Bardoli Blasters. 10 runs scored from that over. 36 coming from the last 5. And at the end of 12, the score is 86 for 2. '86 for 2 is the score. Another 8 overs remaining. Rajan Patel is on strike, 6 from 3. And Sagar Patel will be coming on to bowl his 3rd over. The non-striker is Parthiv Patel. He's 54 from 42. Slapped into the outfield. There's a fielder out there in the deep at mid-wicket. Just a single. So a long way to go here for the DESAI 11 to crawl back into this game. I think that they're just now starting to lose the plot just a little bit. And in fact, if you see the number of balls remaining, 47, runs required 47. So those two numbers have caught up with each other. Ball down the leg side means that the number of runs remaining to be scored is now less than the number of balls remaining. Now 46 runs needed to be scored and still 47 balls to be bowled. So the Bardoli Blasters are now on track officially to win this game. This is hammered in the air through the offside. Sweeper out here in the deep cannot prevent 2 runs. And so, once again, the Bardoli Blasters slowly but surely inching their way toward, I think, what would be a victory. They don't need to take any chances from here. They can get there from here now in ones. Good looking stroke into the covers for no run, but the fact that balls remaining has now caught up with runs needed means that they can literally afford to do it in singles from here. Sagar Patel, in the meantime, his 2.3 overs have cost 18 runs. This is worked around the corner. Nobody out there. If that has the legs to go, it will go because nobody's going to retrieve it. There's a fielder deep mid-wicket, and he's just jogging after it because it goes all the way for 4. Too much down the leg side by Sagar Patel. Did not get that one in the right channel. Looking for that channel outside off stump. But if he's not able to get it there, then that ball drifting down the leg side presents an easy scoring opportunity. It's Parthiv Patel, who's now up to 60 from 45. Already 8 runs from the over with 2 balls to go. So you really are getting to the point, to the stage in the innings where it just feels like there's just one team that's going to win. Here's Sagar Patel again. Hammered. This is going to take some stopping by long off. A great effort. Absolutely great effort. That is deep on the boundary. Running across to his left and diving right here in front of us and stopping that. So that is a good effort. That is the type of effort that you want to see from your fielders. Powerfully struck ball, and here you see on the replay right there, diving stop. Really, really good work by Deep. And that is, he's able to prevent 2 runs. So for the most part, the effort is being given in the deep by Deep, no pun intended. And you're able to see that for the most part, just that one single that was taken on that last ball means that, oh, good, huge swing taken and not able to make any contact, but that's a productive over, very productive over by the Bardoli Blasters. 11 runs coming from that over. At the end of 13, the score is 97 for 2. $97 for 2. Parthiv Patel, 62 from 47. And Rajan Patel, 7 not out from 4. Facing up to Bhumish Patel again. This should be his last over. Lofted in the air, deep, and gone for 6. That is a big hit, probably the biggest hit that we've seen of the tournament so far. That was really in the slot and lofted well and truly over the top of long on. Slowly tossed up. In fact, that was more square than long on. That went to cow corner. and lofted very, very nicely into the deep for 6. You see the action there on the replay. It just the body language of Rajan after he played that shot just indicates that he knows that he had nailed that one. So the 100 is up. With that stroke, 103 for 2 is now the score, and just another 31 runs needed for victory. And we're to the point now again that required rate less than 5. It's now down to 4.5. So pretty straightforward victory in the offing here for the Bardoli Blasters if they're able to continue along this vein. And the DESAI 11 has some work to do. This is lofted down the ground, and it's going to be 6 more. Boy, all of a sudden Rajan Patel decides that he wants to get in out of the heat. Consecutive 6s here to start the 14th. Just another 25 runs needed, and you get the sense that he wants to end it in this over. Boy, didn't even get all of that. It's almost like a thick top edge. And initially I thought there was a chance for him to catch that. I mentioned the wind a couple of overs ago. The wind is blowing from the south. That ball is being helped by the wind if it's hit into the air straight. And potentially it could have been the wind that helped that ball carry over the fence. Next delivery, oh, looking to go big, missing out, going down the leg side. They'll run to, waiting to see the umpire's signal. The umpire signals wide, so they run 2, which means that 3 runs are added to the total, and still another 4 balls to be bowled. Score ticks on to 112. Flat, much quicker, flatter delivery. Pushed through and gets through Rajan Patel. Not able to get any bat on that. So a lot of activity all of a sudden. Looking here to close things out of the Bardoli Blasters. And this game was sort of drifting along, but this pair has now injected some happiness, some momentum into this innings. Looking to work it off his hip was Rajan Patel, not able to get it away. Just another 2 balls remaining here in the 14th. 22 runs required for victory. Oh, looking big. Did not go where he was looking for it, but it's still a productive shot. It may have the legs to reach the boundary, and it does so now. 4 runs, a thick outside edge. Runs away down the hill, past short third man. He was not in position to run that down because once it passed the inner edge, or the inner circle rather, and accelerating down the hill, just not enough for him to be able to stop that. So 4 runs to the total. And here's the last delivery of the 14th. Down the wicket, in the air, flying. Woo, that gets through the fielder at cow corner. He really should have done better to stop that. 23 runs coming from that over. The biggest, easily the biggest over of the innings so far. And all of a sudden, this innings from the Bardoli Blasters is a runaway freight train. Just another 14 runs needed now for victory, and it appears that we're going to just have another couple of overs at the most left in this match because Parthiv Patel and Rajan Patel have decided that it is time to get in out of the heat. .120 for 2, so the Desai 11 has gone back to their opening bowler, Ketan Desai. Ketan Desai coming back in to bowl from the southern end of the ground. And he'll be bowling with a much more defensive field than when he opened the bowling in this match. There's a man at deep cover. There is an extra cover who was on the boundary but is now being brought into the circle. There's long on and long off. There's deep mid wicket. So the 5 fielders outside the circle are deep mid wicket, long on, long off, deep cover, and wide third man. Those are all on the boundary. Everyone else, of course, is required to be inside the circle. Parthiv Patel on strike. Right arm around the wicket. Straight up in the air, but nobody is out there. A long way for the fielder at deep mid wicket to run. He tracks it down. Oh, seemed for a second to be indicating. Oh, he was indicating that it was not a 4. Almost looked like he was signaling that it was in fact 4, but they only ran 2, and that's all they'll get for that first ball of the over. Just now 12 runs needed for victory. Ketan Desai continuing to operate around the wicket to the right-handers. Next delivery, slapped in the air. This is going to be 2 more at least, I would think. Yep, third man coming around to his right to clean up. 2 more runs to the total. And at this point, it's all pretty easy for the Bardoli Blasters. Here is the next delivery coming from Ketan Desai. Right arm around the wicket, very full. Goals given, LBW appeal. Boy, not LBW, I'm sorry, caught behind is the appeal. And absolutely given by the umpire. I'll tell you what, the body language, reading the body language of Parthiv Patel, he did not think that he had hit it. Here we see on the replay, Ketan Desai, right arm around the wicket. Here's the delivery. Appeal for the catch and given him. The body language again of Parthiv Patel indicates that he did not hit it, but it doesn't matter because the majority of the work has been done. You get the sense that it's just a matter of knowing which over this ends in. And really, just with 2 balls remaining here in the 15th and another 10 runs remaining for victory. Even though the fall of a wicket might slow things down just a little bit, I really do think that it's just one team that can win it from here. Ketan Desai, good return. Came back into the attack with the idea of taking wickets, which is why his captain would have wanted him to come back into the attack. So from that standpoint, he is successful. But more to the point, with a score of 124 for 3, only another 10 runs needed for victory. It's pretty straightforward. The task at hand for each of these batters is just to make sure that they stay there. If they stay there, 10 runs will come just organically in the next 2 overs, one would think. And just don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything to lose your wicket. The batter is now KP. KP bowled well in the first part of this match. Ball drifting down the leg side. Appeal for LBW. Absolutely no chance of that being given LBW, I wouldn't think. Right armer bowling around the wicket to a right-handed batter. Those elements altogether would suggest that that ball is either pitching outside leg or missing the stumps altogether. Here's Ketan Desai again. Lofted in the air. Couple of bounces to that man down at deep mid-wicket. Just a single taken. So 1 ball remaining here in the 15th over. Ketan Desai with a successful return to the attack. That 1 ball tells you that it's just a matter of being able to get it on the right length and the right line. This is wide down the leg side. In fact, it's too wide outside off stump. Kind of hard to tell exactly where it went, but missing the target that Ketan Desai had when he released that ball. And it goes away for a wide. Here's the next ball. Still 1 ball remaining. Slower delivery. Slapped in the air past mid-on. and runs away wide up long on for 4. So uh, kind of an anticlimactic end to the over. Wicket taken by Kit and DESAI, but it also goes for runs. 10 runs from the over, and just another 4 runs separating the Bardoli Blasters from victory. Rajan Patel has been there now for 11 balls. He scored 31 runs. KP just getting started, 1 from 2. And again, just another 4 runs needed for victory. This looks like it is going to be Krunal Patel who's going to bowl in this, the 16th over. Krunal Patel has not yet bowled. And with 4 runs needed to get for victory, one believes that this could very well be the last over of the match. Field is relatively straight. In other words, long on and long off are in position. There's a cow corner, there's a deep square leg, and third man and fine leg are inside the circle. This is lofted in the air. It's going to be a sprint by the long off fielder. He's not going to get there in time. A single by KP. He's now 2 from 3. Rajan Patel is back on strike, 31 from 11. And the way that he is going, you'd think that he'd try to end this with 1 stroke. Just another 3 runs needed, and lofted in the air, down the ground, goes all the way for 6. And that is the end of the game. Pretty straightforward victory in the end, right in the slot and hammering it down the ground. Here we see on the replay, Krunal Patel getting it 2 full and 2 straight and just hammered right down the ground. Good piece of batsmanship, aggressive batsmanship by the batter on that occasion. That is Rajan Patel. So pretty straightforward victory. Victory by 7 wickets by the Bardoli Blasters. They started out in very sedate fashion, but pretty much controlled things from about the 7 over mark. Once they shifted through the gears, I think over number 6 was a big one that went for 15. And after that over, it really did just feel like it was just one team that was going to win. Just to look at the entire scorecard. Started out DESAI 11, winning the toss and choosing to bat. Their batting was led by Sagar Patel, 37 from 29. Mehang Patel, 30 from 22. And Sanjay Patel at the top, 20 from 16. Bowling on that occasion led by Sandy Patel, who bowled a really good spell. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 4 wickets for 10 runs. Really good bowling by him, a left-arm spinner. And then after that, the Bardoli Blasters coming in to bat. Devin Haricha started out with Parthiv Patel. Devin Haricha scoring 22 from 23. Parthiv Patel dismissed for 66 from 50 with 7 fours and a 6. Then Rajan Patel coming in at the end to clean things up. 37 from 12 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes. Tremendous effort by him. Decent bowling overall by the DESAI 11, but they just had too much to do. Couldn't make much penetration. Sagar Patel batted well and also bowled well. 2 for 25 from his 3 overs, but they just left them with a little bit too few runs to defend. So that is the end of the match. The Bardoli Blasters win it by 7 wickets. The second match of the day will be right here on this ground. It will be the Friends 11 versus GTCC. Do join us at a match that is scheduled to start at 12:30. So join us about 12:25 or so for coverage. In the meantime, we're signing off for the moment from the Northeast Community Park in Frisco, Texas. We'll be back in about 30 minutes.